Pisces, welcome to Carol's Universe, tarot readings from the heart. I hope you guys are really well. So today is your August 2016 month ahead general tarot forecast. If you'd like a private reading with me, Pisces, just go to the details below, www.carolsuniverse.co.uk. So the cards are already laid because they take too long, as I've said, to shuffle on screen. Let's just jump straight into your reading. It's an interesting one, really, because your general energy shows up as the Seven of Swords and the Queen of Wands. Now, I looked at these cards, and I do feel that this is a work-related reading. But, you know, as I say with all of my readings, you just need to apply it to whatever it is that, you know, it falls in with. In the month, you know, in the month of August. So it doesn't have to be work, it can be love, it can be anything that you can associate my readings with, because the tarot is not fixed, okay? It's very fluid. So, you know, you can get pentacles that fall in line with a love situation, or cups that fall in line with a business situation. It doesn't matter, that, you know, everything within the tarot is very adaptable. Seven of Swords is usually the card of deception. But it's also the card, it doesn't just mean deception. This is the thing with the tarot, and this is why I love it so much. You know that, you guys know that I came to tarot in 2014, September 2014. I'd been through a very difficult period in a work environment, and I decided to pick up a pack of tarot cards. And when you're first learning tarot, you read as much as you can on the general readings, and then it just seems so much of a headache to read everything, because it's 78 cards. But but it's funny with the tarot, you just pick things up as you go along, and generally you learn all the meanings of the card as time to go along, and then you learn more and more about the meanings, because as a tarot reader, you never ever stop learning. There's always a new meaning for the cards, always. So the Seven of Swords is not just about deceptive, con artist situation. It's not just about theft. You know, liars, distrust. It's also a card about moving and finding a really clever way to get away with a situation or to get out of something. Okay, this is why when you get the Seven of Swords in an outcome position, Pisces, it can often mean that there is partial success available, or you're going to have some partial success. And the only reason that it's partial success is because the guy doesn't get away with all seven swords. He only gets away with 5 of them, because he can't carry the other 2 swords. To me, the swords look quite light in his hand. I don't understand why he doesn't have the 7 swords, but for some reason, he's only got 5 of the swords and 2 he leaves behind. So to me, it's like you get most of what you want in a situation. Or, you know, swords relate to thoughts, ideas, actions, struggles. So in terms of thoughts, you know, it's almost like part way there, because there's 5 swords, 5 thoughts, or there's a certain amount of ideas going through your head, but maybe, you know, there's a certain amount of ideas that you're getting away with, or a certain amount of ideas that you can accept, or you feel comfortable with, and maybe there's a couple of more things that you need to kind of still work out because you're kind of not sure. So there's a lack of certainty when you get this card as well, especially when it comes to thoughts, which is why sometimes the Seven of Swords can mean that one is deceiving themselves. Okay, one feels that they've got everything sewn up, but what about those other 2 swords? There's still questions that aren't answered, which to me the Seven of Swords then would become, well, there's a question mark maybe over what you're thinking. You think you've got everything sewn up. You think that you've got all the missing pieces of the jigsaw, but the 2 swords to me would represent, that are left over, would be, well, you haven't got everything. You haven't got all of the information, all of the facts. So therefore, maybe what you're thinking is quite deceptive, because you're not in possession of all the facts, because he's not in possession of all the thoughts and swords. And what are swords? They're thoughts. But swords also represent the truth. So you could say with this card, well, I'm not in possession of the whole truth. if that makes any sense, if we could break it down maybe into that, Pisces. But I don't feel it's that this month. I feel it's more that you're getting away with something. I know that swords don't represent Pisces, it's usually water. But I feel that you're getting away from someone or something, because we've got a Queen of Wands sitting right next to you. Now, sometimes when you get the Queen of Wands, especially when she shows up in a career reading, there's two queens that I know to be quite difficult within the tarot, especially when they come up in terms of career, and that can be a Queen of Wands and a Queen of Swords. Okay, both of them. I've seen these two girls in action, okay, when they come up in terms of careers or people who are around people in workplaces, and they can be very difficult. The Queen of Wands can be a real busybody. She's all over the place. She's really in someone's business. She's highly skilled, highly adaptable. She knows her job inside out. But that's what, and she's almost a star because of it. She's in high demand within the workplace. But then she can become very full of herself as an individual as well, because she knows that she's really attractive. She's in very, very high. And this lady sometimes shows up as a blonde woman a lot of the time. And she can be blonde hair, blue eyed. I'm not saying that she's all the time. She's not, obviously. There's Black Queen of Wands as well. But yeah, she can be someone who can be. But this Seven of Swords is, if you look, he's looking straight across at the Queen of Wands. Look, straight across, like he's getting away with something. Now, I could look at these cards two ways, Pisces. I could say that through your clever thinking with the Seven of Swords and your determination, and the Seven of Swords is also a card about determination. It's the determination to run away, to get away with something, to find a very, very important solution to a very, very big problem, which takes a high level of intelligence, because the Seven of Swords is also about having a very high level of intelligence, being able to implement that intelligence into finding a practical solution to a really big problem. Okay, so this takes a lot of mental agility, a lot of mental astuteness, that type of thing. It's a game of strategy when you get that Seven of Swords. So, I could read it as being, the strategy that you implement into finding your way around a particular problem, Pisces, will lead to great success, because the Queen of Wands is not only a person, obviously. As an energy, she represents success. So you get this card when you've got some massive, massive news that's coming to you, for example. Especially in a career reading, this can mean some amazing news that's coming to you when you get the Queen of Wands. She's very, very proactive, though, and she's a leader, and she is someone who is... she's represented either by Aries or Leo. I know her to be an Aries, but a lot of people say that she's actually Leo, okay? But either one, Leo and Aries, to me, represent both leaders. But if she's Leo, to me, she's very, very, what's the word? Leo can often be attributed to people who like to be in the spotlight. Okay, so you get something like the Sun card, which represents the zodiac sign of Leo, and that's someone who likes to show off. They like to be the centre of attention, and this person likes to be the centre of attention, Queen of Wands does. So it could be something to do with, the practical ideas that you implement into a certain issue that you've been having, and those solutions that you come to that allow you to escape a certain problem or issue will lead to you being in the spotlight, maybe with the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands, as I've said, also is a very busy individual, okay? So she's very, very much a multitasker, and she's very much on the leadership scale, okay? She is very much into getting really ahead. So with that Seven of Swords, it could see something that you do, Pisces, in the month of August propels you in terms of status, because the Queen of Wands can often represent when you're given a promotion, for example, or when you get good news about a job, as I've said. So there's something that potentially that you do that puts you ahead of the pack, that propels you into some form of promotion, potentially. And as your advice card is the Seven of Cups, the Seven of Cups doesn't have to just mean lots of choices that you can't make up your mind around. It can also simply mean, well, there's lots of doors opening to you. So potentially, as an advice card, it could be that there are doors opening to you. That Seven of Cups can represent doors opening to you, and you just need to step through one of them and make a choice on it. So potentially it's that. But I also feel with the reading that, this Seven of Swords might be you guys. And I feel that you're making... Sometimes the Seven of Swords means to make a quick getaway. And it could be because this Seven of Swords is facing the Queen of Wands, maybe there's somebody that you're looking to get away from, especially maybe within a career or a workplace. There's something or someone I feel some of you guys are trying to move on from, or you do it because the Seven of Swords means to achieve success or victory. It might not be that you're able to take everything with you, but the majority of what you take when you get away is what you actually want, and you're happy with that because the guy's quite smug. Okay, so, and also the Seven of Swords, because it's swords, it's to do with communication. So for some of you guys, it might be that you say to someone everything or what it is that you want to say to them. Maybe you're able to verbalize something to them, but you're not able to verbalize everything to them, because always remember there's two swords left over. So this person isn't either to convey all of their ideas, speak all their truth, or take everything with them, or have complete and utter success, because there's something still left over in the background. They're able to take the majority of something with them, or get the majority of what they need, but they don't get everything. And if it's some form of verbalization, something you want to say to someone, maybe this Queen of Wands, because Queen of Wands isn't you, obviously, the Queen of Wands, but then as an energy, you know, energies like Queens, Kings, the energies, it doesn't matter if it's not your astrological sign, it doesn't fall within your element. It just matters what the card is trying to convey. So for some of you, it could be that through some great mental strategy, you're able to achieve something quite big in the month of August with the Queen of Wands energy, Pisces. And it could be for some of you that you're actually looking to tell somebody about their business. You don't get to tell them everything, but you get to tell them something, because you probably can't stand them, maybe. But the first 8 cards, we've got the Page of Wands. Now, the Page of Wands can often mean that good news is coming to you. Okay, so you get some news. Doesn't always mean good. Sometimes, you know, I was in for my American viewers, there's a place called Waterstones. I don't know whether you've got that out in America. Not just America, my international viewers, sorry. So whether you're from China, India, America, wherever. There's a shop called Waterstones, it's a massive chain of bookstores in the UK. And I was in there looking for some tarot cards about 4 weeks ago, and a lady was looking for some angel cards. She didn't really want to do tarot because I got talking to her because she looks very confused, and I said to her, you look really confused. And she said, yeah, I'm looking for angel cards. I said, oh, you could get these, they're like tarot. But she was like, oh, no, I'll never do tarot. And I said, well, why? And she said, well, she was on holiday once. I can't remember where she was on holiday, maybe an Eastern European country. And she went to a reader who told her all sorts of nasty stuff. And she said, I've never trusted tarot since then. So I said, you know, I'm actually a professional tarot reader. I have a YouTube channel and I also run a successful website. She said, oh. I said, would you like a free reading? And she was like, no. I said, would you like a reading? She's like, how much do you charge? And I said, I'm not charging you anything. I just want to give you a reading and show you that tarot can be good. So we went and we sat down, and she bought me a hot chocolate, and we sat down in it's lovely Waterstones. It's got a lovely place where you can sit and read and type and and eat at the same time. It's lovely. And I did a 10-card Celtic cross reading, and in the immediate future, I said, you've got some news coming in, and the Page of Wands showed, and she goes, yeah, I have got news. And I flipped over another card, clarification, and it showed me the Four of Cups. And I said, but you're not happy about it. You're really doubtful about it. And she goes, yeah, I don't want to move. I know what the news is about, she said, but I don't want to go. I don't trust it. I don't like it. And that's why she had. So what I'm trying to say is, with the Page of Wands, Pisces, this represents news, but it's good news, but sometimes this isn't apparent to the person. This is what I'm trying to say. Okay, we've got news coming in here. And I feel that you guys are going to be testing the waters on something. So whatever this news is, we've got Temperance showing up next. And when you get Temperance, sometimes it can mean somebody's testing the waters, because this guy is dipping his toe in the water. So sometimes you know the expression, I just need to dip my toe in just to see. So it's like a test. Okay, so I feel that some of you guys around this news, there is a test. Okay, so it's either like a test to, like a trial, maybe a day's trial doing something, for example, to see whether you like it, to see whether the employer likes you. So I feel that you've got kind of the go-ahead on something here. And this Seven of Swords could be that you're making your plans for a getaway, maybe from this individual. And the Seven of Swords, as I've said, could be whereby you're having to kind of use your head. There's a lot of mental strategy going on, maybe a test or something to move yourself along, maybe up the ladder. But it's interesting what else shows up in this reading, Pisces. There's something about you guys moving. Now, you're either moving to another department in order to get a promotion for something, and you're needing to take a test around it, or you're moving out of probably where you are altogether, I think. Okay, and maybe you're going to tell someone about their business, because we do have the Page of Wands, and the Page of Wands also represents new adventures and new beginnings and exciting new adventures. But you need to just test it out first with the Temperance card to make sure that it's the right thing for you. And so the Temperance card, sometimes when you get this card, it can mean I've got a final test. So maybe it's a second interview or something like that. Maybe you've got news coming on a second interview. Okay, or maybe you've got news coming in and saying, you know, provisionally we'd like to accept you for this role, but would you like to come and do a day's or a couple of days test to see whether, you know, we both get on, that type of thing. Anyway, I think that you do get on, because we've got the Eight of Cups here, and it shows you walking towards the world. How interesting is that? Now, when you get the World card, it can mean out in the world. So you're walking towards something higher, because the world means completion, it means success. It means the victory, it means the culmination of a situation, it means the end of a journey, the end of a line. Because it's the world is forever going round, so we're always starting and beginning, starting and beginning, starting and beginning, and it never stops. The world is the card just before that Fool takes off again. So you get the Fool as the first card, 0, and then you've got the World as the last one, card number 22. And then it starts again with the 0, and then ending up at the World with all the other major arcanas between. So it's a never-ending journey that you're on. But I feel here that you're walking to higher ground, and you're leaving something behind with you. Because remember, with the Eight of Cups, often this can be a card where we are physically moving, or it could be a card where we are emotionally moving away from a situation. So if you're emotionally moving, it means that you're emotionally and mentally detaching yourself from a particular situation that probably doesn't serve you in the long run. If you're physically moving, Pisces, from a situation, this suggests I'm leaving something behind that I'm not happy about. Okay, and I'm moving on to something that I feel will be better for me, and you go out into the world. Now, I feel that it will either be, with this reading, looking at it and looking what I feel that it's trying to tell me, is that for some of you guys, you could have had enough of a situation, and you could say, up yours, to your boss. I just get that impression in the month of August, and I know it's probably not the best time to tell your boss up yours or tell your boss what you think about him, but I just get that impression. Because Temperance can represent healing, and it can represent trying to balance things out and weigh things up. So maybe some news comes to you with the Page of Wands, and maybe you're needing to weigh things up with the Temperance card, but maybe you're also needing to cool off. Okay, because the Temperance card can mean to temper, to cool down, to cool off, to make lukewarm. So maybe you're needing to take time out of a situation. So for some of you guys, it could be that you take a break from where you are, because the Page of Wands can be, I'm going on a new adventure, I'm going on holiday, I'm going bungee jumping, I'm taking a risk on something, I'm going to just enjoy, I'm really looking forward to this fun time and all of this excitement that's coming up for me, and I'm just so excited. And Temperance card can mean to take a break, to temper something, to cool down, just to kind of like take a bit of time out before you kind of, you know, adjust to something new. So we do see for some of you guys, the Eight of Cups can simply mean I'm taking a break from these cups here and I'm going to the world. So it could be literally taking a holiday, going abroad, because the world can represent far away places, distant places, places abroad, different countries. So for some of you guys, it could be that you're going away because you've had enough at the moment. And also with the Page of Wands, it can be, you know, I'm going to on an exciting new journey. I'm going somewhere nice, somewhere relaxing. And with the Temperance card, it might give you time to dip your toe in the river, you know, in the stream, in the pool, just to kind of cool down a little bit. So for some of you guys, it's as simple as taking a holiday. But I do feel that you're getting away from someone still. I feel that it's almost like a relief. I get a sense of relief going on here for some of you Pisces people, that you need to get away from someone. If that's not the case, I do feel it's relief though from someone. I get that sense. I feel that some of you guys are leaving the job, whether or not you've found something or not. You could go on a day's trial somewhere and you could decide, you know what, I don't know what's going on with that job, but screw this, I ain't staying here. You know, you decide, forget this, I'm not staying in this job, forget it. So you decide that, you know, I'm gonna move, I'm just gonna go out there and see what comes up. I'm just gonna go, and that could be the advice of the Seven of Cups, that maybe you're open now to other opportunities that come in and you don't really know exactly what to choose. Maybe there are other opportunities that you're looking at, because the Seven of Cups means I have options, or I'm looking at options, but I'm just not certain of what I'm doing right now. So I do feel for some of you guys, you are going to be leaving a job potentially, whether you've got something or not. For some of you guys, you might have something that you can go to. For some of you guys, it could be that you've been in something for an awful long time, because the world is an awfully big place. All right, so sometimes when you get a world card, it's almost like I don't really know where I'm going, because it's an awful big place and I'm just going into the world and I'm going to search. Sometimes the Eight of Cups is a card of I'm searching for something new. And maybe you're going out into the world to search for something new, guys. But whatever the case is, I do feel that you're moving. There's certainly an air of movement here. What I find most interesting, though, about this reading, Pisces, and just before I say what I was about to say, I can also feel that if you have some good news that comes in with the Page of Wands around a job, often the Page of Wands represents good news around something to do with career also. There is probably one final test that you need to take. I do feel that you're successful, because you're probably walking towards, with that Eight of Cups, an accomplishment, success with the World card. You accomplish exactly what it is that you've been tested in, that you're looking to go for, and therefore you can go up to that Queen of Wands character. I get the impression there's someone that you guys don't like in this month of August for some reason. But the interesting thing is the bottom cards, which I found to be like, what the hell is this? We've got Strength. And we've got the Queen of Swords. Now, what do those cards say to you? Because to me they say self-restraint over your words, or restraining being forthright, or saying things in a certain way. So maybe when you get the Eight of Cups, it doesn't always mean that you're walking away immediately. It just means that you can now break the ties. So I feel in the month of August, if you're not going straight into something else, I feel that you get a chance to break away from something. And you've done it in a really good way, because you probably haven't told anybody within the workplace that you're doing this until the last minute. I get that impression from some of you Pisces people. And with the Strength card, it's almost like you need to... I don't know whether this is a message from Spirit coming in to say something to you, but it's almost like with the Strength card, what happens with Strength is it means several things. So when you get Strength, for example, in a love reading, it can mean that you have support. You have someone that's going to come into your life, that's going to be supportive to you. You're going to be supportive to them. It's going to be a really strong relationship. You might be coming from two different sides of the track, but the relationship works. You learn to trust each other. You learn to be there for each other. You just learn. It can also mean that you get someone to succumb to your feminine charms, if you're a female watching this, okay? Or you're a male who's under the thumb, as it were. But that's what the Strength card can mean in love. But it can also mean in other ways that patience is needed around a situation. It means the curbing of fears. So having the inner strength to deal with a fear that you've got, because the lion would be representative of the fear. This card can also mean, Pisces, that you are restraining your innermost anger, because the Strength card can also mean to hold back on anger, which is this. The anger is the lion, and the woman is the person who is clamping that lion's mouth shut. So what you're really doing, if we were to look at this as an energy or as a metaphor for life, this is keep your mouth shut, or know how to speak, or don't be like, nah, all this stuff, like, yeah, that type of thing. It's more like, yes, what can I do for you today, bitch? Do you know what I mean? It's that kind of thing. Not that you'd say bitch, but it's kind of like, what can I do for you today? And in the back of your head, you'd be saying like, what can I do for you today, bitch? That type of thing. Do you see what I mean? So you might think something about someone, but you don't say it. Do you see what I mean? So it's knowing how to curb that inner rage and not say stuff just like blur. Do you see what I mean? Not come out with something. And we know that the Queen of Swords, we know she likes to talk her shit. We know this woman likes to come out with it. The young Queen of Swords will she'll just whoop your ass with her mouth. Oh God, that sounds all wrong. I mean, she's the type of woman, she'll be like, you know what? Don't fuck with me, man. That's the Queen of Swords for you. She'd be that type of woman. She's not going to kind of be like gentle. She will tell you straight down. I've met many of these type of women and they can be right cows, yeah? They won't mince their words. They will say, but they say things in such a way, it's very sophisticated. So I feel that there's something around this reading that says you need to choose what you say. If you're leaving a job and there's someone in the job you don't like, it's almost like it's saying you need to restrain how you speak. Just because you're leaving or just because you're going, don't be like, rah, 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 rah. Don't be like that all up in their face. Don't be all up in their business like that. Just be like, yeah, I'll see you later, bitch. Do you see what I mean? You don't do it because obviously it will just give you, if you need a reference, for example, and your job hasn't given its reference yet, you're going to need that reference. You don't need any of this bad shit on you. So it's almost like it's saying that if you're leaving somewhere, Pisces, don't be, do you know what I mean? Don't be in your face with someone because all of a sudden it's like, yeah, someone's going to get it because I'm leaving this job. Someone's going to get it. You're not going to be like that. Do you know what I mean? You're going to be jogging along with a baseball bat like that. Yeah, someone's going to get it. You're not going to be... I'm so sorry, I'm in a bit of a silly mood this afternoon, but you're just not going to be, you're not going to do that, okay? It's almost like it's saying curb your language. And it's funny because the Queen of Swords faces the devil. Look at this. This is like this person is saying, yeah, someone's going to get it, yeah. It's like that. She's like, come on then. But look at what the devil's doing. I never really noticed this before, but this devil has people under control. Can you see where his torch is facing? He's burning someone's ass. He's burning someone's tail. It's like he's keeping this person under control by burning their tail. He's like saying, if you unravel yourself from them chains, I'm going to screw you over, man. I'm just going to kill you. So it's like he's got this person on a leash. So it's almost like you know what's going down for some of you guys within a particular place that you're working in, okay? You know that this devil has major control issues, okay? So it's almost like this person has control over many people. And I just get the feeling that it's someone you don't like, okay? And you want to tell them about their business when you go. But it's saying with the Strength card, hold it back. Don't be so overly whatever. Just hold it back. You got something to say to someone, don't say it. Because if you say it, you're fucked, basically. Don't leave on those terms, okay? You've gotten away with something. Seven of Swords says that you have, it might be that you finally accomplish what you want to. It's not everything, and maybe the not everything is that you don't get to say everything that you want to say. You have to leave a couple of ideas or a couple of ways that you've been thinking about someone behind. Okay, maybe you haven't been able to say or express all of the ideas that you wanted to express to a particular person. But still there's an air of smugness that you seem to have gotten away with something in the month of August, if this is making any sense to you guys. And the final card is the Hierophant. And maybe these two cards with the Strength card and the Queen of Swords are saying, choose your words carefully. Restrain being too direct verbally with this devil, because this is a corrupt society and they can fuck you over if they want to fuck you over, okay? So just be careful in how you deal with people because you're going, because you may not, you might do something that you'll regret later, okay? So, when you get the devil and the Hierophant, because the Hierophant can mean a society of people, and it can mean an establishment, and the devil can mean someone who corrupts. And this person does corrupt because he's burning the tail of one of the guys. Can you see that? He's got his flame, and you can see that this person's tail I don't know what it is, but it looks like it's inflamed to me. It looks like the devil's got a flame on this person's tail. It looks like it keeps this person in check by burning it. Okay, so it looks like it's put it under some duress or some sort of torture to keep it in line. And usually for me, when I see the devil and the Hierophant side by side, it almost means a corrupt establishment. So corrupt the devil, establishment the Hierophant. And both cards are so strong within the tarot. The Hierophant is virtually impenetrable because this is to deal with groups. But groups that have their own set of beliefs and their own type of ideology. And nobody really gets past that. They've got their own morals, their own code of ethics. And as I've always said with the Hierophant, it can mean somebody who is wise. But paired with the devil, I don't think this is a wise establishment. I feel that this is probably a very corrupt one to me. Because with the Hierophant, I've always said about the Hierophant, this guy is all trussed up. And he's imparting his truth to others. Now, if you're a Taurus individual, that truth is fine because you become the Hierophant. I've done readings for Taurus people and the Hierophant has shown up in their obstacle position, which says that they're probably led far too much by their own moral ethics, their own code of ethics, and that could be having some detrimental effect on what they do going forward in terms of decisions that they make, because they just can't let this very restrictive morality down. But when the Hierophant's on its own, it can be an outside agency that has a very strong hold on you and a very strong hold on what you do, what you say, how you do it. If you look at these two bald-headed men, they're sitting right before that Hierophant and they're nodding like dogs to everything that this person says. And it's like, yes, sir, no, sir, 3 bags full, so. So when I see the Hierophant, it often reminds me of an establishment that has no freedom of thought and no freedom of speech and no freedom of ideology, or if they've got their own ideology or their own beliefs, then they are very limited in the way that they can express that, because often if I get, say, the Fool and then the Hierophant, to me it's almost like you're leaving an establishment or you're leaving somewhere that's been very restrictive. I also see the Hierophant as well as being it's a great spiritual card, and it can represent someone who gives you really, really good advice, usually in the reverse. That's not very good advice. It's kind of wrong advice. But also, so what? Hierophant is a number 5 card, and number 5s we know deal with struggles and challenges and conflicts. So the Hierophant is in charge of the number 5s, but they also represent a change that comes in as well. I feel with the Hierophant card here with this devil, I look at keywords: devil, corrupt, Hierophant, establishment. This has its own code of ethics, and with that devil card, it's corrupt ethics to me. Okay, you might have to restrain yourself with that Strength card and the Queen of Swords from saying something to these people, because I do feel that you guys need a break. And even if it's a case of, you know what, fuck this, I'm going, and you've got no idea of where you're going, it's saying that doors will open to you with the 7 of Cups. Okay, because the 7 of Cups represents options that come to us. They're choices that we can make. Okay, you might be spoilt for choice with that card. Remember that the tarot is multifaceted, Pisces. So it doesn't always mean one thing. Usually this card can be interpreted because it's a number 7. Number 7s often represent indecisiveness or the need to make a choice. Okay, so for some of you guys, you might be indecisive. Okay, and you might be indecisive around a job that you have, that you're not getting on with someone. You might be trying to get away with that 7 of Swords, get away with something underneath the nose of the Queen of Wands. I noticed that this guy's nose is right underneath that chin of the Queen of Wands. So you might be trying to get away with something around maybe a boss. Get away with something. Get away. Get away from a boss that you don't like. And you might go away to think about things. Try and make a decision. So you might go travelling. You've had to restrain yourself from saying something to people who you feel are far too restrictive and aren't open enough and are probably quite nasty. So maybe while you're away, it says the advice is, you need to think about your choices carefully. So if you aren't moving, but you're thinking of doing it, this is the time to really think about it if you're going away, Make those decisions, take those actions, send those resumes out, that type of thing. But it's a really interesting reading, Pisces. I love this reading, so interesting. Let's have a look at what your angel card is for the month. Universe Spirit, please show me, what is the advice that you have for Pisces in the month of August 2016? Show me the advice for Pisces. Show me Pisces, Pisces, Pisces. What is the advice that you have for Pisces? Angels, please, in the month of August 2016. What is the advice that you have for Pisces? Show me Pisces and the advice that you have for Pisces in the month of August 2016. What is the advice that you have for Pisces? Recovery. That's what flips out. Let's have a look what this says. This is a period of recovery and healing for you. The challenging emotions that you've been dealing with will fade away with time. Although it may be difficult to see now, there is a joyful future awaiting you. But for now, take all the time you need to regain your strength. This card can also mean that your recovery is nearly finished or already complete. Send words of gratitude to heaven and begin planning for the next exciting phase of your life. So the advice is the Seven of Cups. And there are options that are coming to you, okay? So it might be for some of you guys, you have left somewhere and you don't quite know where you're going because you needed to recover. So maybe you've gone out into the world, different country, different experience, just to recover from a difficult situation. Maybe there's some anger that is with you. Maybe you've had to restrain on saying something to people that you didn't like or that made your life a misery. But really the advice is saying, look, you have options now. Look at the options that you've had and choose accordingly. Okay, choose accordingly. It's a time of recovery for you. So whether you're still where you are in terms of a job you don't like or a place that you don't like, or whether you're moving forward already, this is the time to recover, collect yourself, get yourself back fighting fit and healthy, and then make those choices because there are things that are opening up to you. You only need to step through the door, Pisces. Okay, that's your reading, Pisces, for the month of August 2016. I'd like to say thank you so much for joining me on Carol's Universe. What you've got next door, and it should be showing here, is your live spread reading for the month of August 2016 up to December 2016. And that reading will focus on 5 areas of your life, okay? So it's going to focus on your love life, your work life, your home life, your personal situation, and also your future. Advice card and 7 cards, anchor cards that show how everything resolves itself. So check that reading out, it's really good, and you can just click there to get it now. Okay, speak to you guys soon. Take care.